the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
From a fan perspective, everybody continues to talk about the officiating, and I get it was bad, and I get the frustrations, and it's warranted. But for me, though, I mean, the biggest takeaway is not finishing in the red zone. I mean, you had opportunities to really bury Alabama, in my opinion. Now, even if you led 21-0 at the end of the first quarter, there's 3 quarters left. There's a lot of football, left to be played. But how does that affect, the game plan moving forward, the calls that were made, the play calls? Just like a non-call or a penalty that went against Tennessee or whatever, kind of had the chance to affect the game as well. So, shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Tennessee had control of that football game. You said it. That's a game Tennessee could have won. It was tale of 2 halves, 2 different football teams. A team that didn't finish, and you like for it to finish, but had a purpose, played really well, both sides of the football, and then you go into the halftime break and come out in the second half, and just a goose egg all across the board, and that's a little bit frustrating. So missed opportunities, I guess, would be the biggest way to characterize that, and it's a loss that a lot of people thought was going to happen already this year, but it was definitely a game that you could have won.
Do you think the way this team's built, the way they've responded to this point, because everyone just cycles back to Heupel as 7-1, coming off a loss to this point, and Kentucky, obviously, with Mark Stoops being the head coach of Kentucky, I think this is always going to be a personal one for Heupel and one he wants to win year in, year out. With all that being said, I don't know if I'm confident about anything really with this team week to week. So I think for the people who are like, oh, that's good, it's like, well, you also didn't think Heupel could win a game when he scores less than 30 points just a few weeks ago. And the numbers bore that out. And then he does it. And Heupel himself was surprised that he was able to pull that out against Texas A&M. So I just feel like this year in particular, because the offensive numbers are down all across the board, I don't know what to make of Tennessee week to week. So when you look at Kentucky and you look at just how physical Alabama was in the second half and shutting Tennessee's offense down, do you think it should be expected that Tennessee's able to get up off the mat and go and beat a wounded Kentucky team where their quarterback is trying to keep his completion percentage above 50% in SEC play?
Expected, maybe not. Just because you're right, this team is so unpredictable, but you look at so many people see this game. And again, I think Tennessee's going to win this game. I think Tennessee's going to win this game comfortably. I love the matchup. I think Kentucky, from a quarterback perspective, has been super underwhelming. Again, I think Tennessee can and will win this game comfortably. But I think so many people see this game as just, it's that end of the season game along with Vanderbilt, to where Tennessee's just going to have no issue. It's a guaranteed dub. And Tennessee continues, even with Mark Stoops. I know he's won a couple games, but Tennessee still had a lot of success, even with Mark Stoops as head coach against Kentucky. But this is not that game. Kentucky's different. Kentucky's better. Kentucky's competitive. Kentucky has attracted a couple of nice players from the portal, and they've won some games. And so I think fans are expecting a win, and I don't think that it necessarily should be expected in the sense of, because you just don't know what this team is. The thing that I'm worrisome about this team is in games when something goes wrong, how do you respond? Tennessee in the second quarter against Florida did not respond.